In the 2 seasons that Curt Cignetti has been the head coach of Indiana, he has led this program to the best stretches of football that they have ever had in all their years of existence. And with the instant success that Curt Cignetti has had at Indiana, it's about to make life more difficult for the new batch of head coaches that we have coming up in this upcoming coaching carousel, because Curt Cignetti is changing the bar. Curt Cignetti took a consistent bottom dweller in college football and overnight turned it into a Big Ten contender and a national championship caliber team in just 2 seasons. And he didn't need 3 to 4 years in order to do so. So if Curt Cignetti can turn around Indiana overnight, that's going to make other big-time programs feel like the head coaches they hire should be able to do the same thing. Everybody is now going to start looking for that instant gratification that Indiana has gotten out of Curt Cignetti. Curt Cignetti, what he is doing is something that only 1% of college football head coaches can do, which is do more with less. You got guys saying that they don't have enough NIL money, they don't have the facilities, and yet Curt Cignetti is going on the road and beating Oregon by 10 in spite of being outmatched from a talent standpoint, not having the same amount of money to put into his team that squads like Oregon, Ohio State, and Texas have the ability to do, but it doesn't matter because Curt Cignetti is able to make the most with what he has. You see, what Curt Cignetti is exposing is that if you're a good coach and you're a good evaluator of talent, then it doesn't matter how much NIL money you have, because with that NIL money, you're able to properly allocate it towards the right positions and getting the right players that are able to come in and produce. Too often times, folks think just because you have all this money instantly guarantees that you're going to have a good team, when we saw Texas A&M flop with Jimbo Fisher because he spent a lot of money on his recruiting classes, and a bunch of the guys that he was investing all this money into, they were unable to play. They were not SEC level players. Curt Cignetti is showing that I don't need to have $28 million to spend on a team. If you give me $15 million, I'm going to use that $15 million to make sure that I get guys that I know can play. And it's not always about stars. It's not about getting the 4 and 5 star guys. It's about getting guys that want to be part of something great, want to be coached hard, want to be developed, and also have the ability to be good players. So with how elite Curt Cignetti is at his player evaluation and how good of a coach he is, he can do more with less. Same thing with Kalen DeBoer. When he had Washington playing in a national championship and only his second season as a head coach. In the past 4 years, Kalen DeBoer has gone 2-0 against Dan Lanning, Kirby Smart, and Steve Sarkisian. These are 3 of the consensus 5 best coaches in college football, and Kalen DeBoer has beaten all of them. 2 of them he beat at Washington with way less resources. So now, if you're a school like Florida, whoever is your next head coach, if you do fire Billy Napier, you're expecting to win right away. Same thing with Penn State. If Indiana's winning with Curt Cignetti, why do we have to wait 3 to 4 years to win? Curt Cignetti doesn't need a billionaire donor like how Texas Tech has in order to dominate his conference. Like literally, Dan Lanning came out in his press conference straight up said, yeah, Indiana outplayed us. They just were the better team. All around, not just on the perimeter, but up front. You know, I'm really shocked at how much college football has changed. And it didn't take me until I watched Curt Cignetti in Indiana go on the road and upset Oregon to realize that college football has never been more wide open. You don't need to have $28, $30 million to spend on a team to win. You don't need to have billionaire donors to win championships. All you need is good coaching, decent enough resources, decent enough NIL backing, and as long as you're able to hold up your end of the bargain, being able to make the right evaluations in the portal, because there are like tens and thousands of guys in the transfer portal. You mean to tell me that only a small pool of these guys can play? No, like a lot of these guys can play. It's just that they haven't been put in the right system or receive the right coaching to bring the best out of them. Curt Cignetti is not leaving Indiana. You are insane if you think that Indiana is about to let Curt Cignetti go. This is the best thing that ever happened to this university because forever they were known as a basketball school. And the football team has been better than the basketball team the past 2 years. And they have more than shown that they're committed to basketball. So if you're committed to spending a lot in basketball, why would you not be committed to spending as much or more in the sport that generates more revenue than what college basketball does? And they also have Mark Cuban as a donor. He's not letting Curt Cignetti go anywhere.